What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. I got the mic clipped to the hat like Sam Sulik style over here, so in case you're wondering what that is. Before I get into this video, I want to remind you guys to take a second, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. And if you have subscribed already, please take a second to make sure you are still subscribed, because, like I've said before, YouTube out here YouTubing, they tend to unsubscribe people from channels like mine, which is sad, but it's just the reality of the situation. So, I want to talk about our good old pesky pal, social media. To this day still, I get at least once a week, sometimes 2-3 times a week, getting comments on old videos from women and sometimes men that come after me for talking about social media. I had one woman say just recently that she said word for word, "It's none of mine or any man's business who a woman talks to on social media, what a woman looks at on social media." And she even went a little further to say, "In the last year, I've decided that any man I date is going to understand very clearly up front, my Instagram is private. I will not add him because I look at and follow a bunch of kink pages and adult pages that I'm into that might not, sit well with him, and that's none of his business." That mentality in itself is the epitome of how twisted we are in this dating market. How laughably twisted a lot of women are. Mostly women, a lot of men too, but mostly women are. That thought process in itself is laughably insane. Not to mention, like I've said before, one of the biggest overarching issues for most men in dating is that most women out here today have a laughably ridiculous perception of themselves, even on the looks scale. I'm not even talking about baggage and body count and all this and that. Most women out here, with their makeup on, look average. With tons of makeup on, look average. Most of them are very out of shape. Yet, they look at most men that are average as major below average. It is just twisted, man. It's twisted. And if I'm going to point to one thing that's the biggest problem with dating in general today, it's going to be social media. And social media and the corn movie industry, I can't say the P word because YouTube will kind of censor the video they don't like. God forbid you challenge that corn video industry. That garbage in itself has ruined women, and social media has kind of ruined women as well. And I want to touch briefly on the corn video thing, because no one seems to talk about this. Everyone talks about addiction to that and how it's bad for men to watch that. It messes up men's perception of sex. But that industry, or those movies in general, have ruined women way more than men. It's not even close. And no therapists or psychologists that you see on YouTube here talking about that stuff want to bring that up. Women have been ruined by that way more than men. It's not even close. The amount of women today that regularly consume that garbage and go down these rabbit holes of this garbage stuff, it has twisted their minds to a level that men will not ever catch up in my lifetime. I'll leave that right there, because that's the truth that nobody seems to want to talk about. But the reason why I say social media is number one, because the obvious reasons of it being at your fingertips, acceptable any time of the day to be scrolling and doom scrolling, looking at stuff. But most women today think they're getting more and more comfortable with, like I said, the micro cheating, following these pages that are, perverse, hot dudes and whatever stupid shit they're following. And they're getting more and more comfortable thinking it's okay to entertain conversations on these social media platforms. More and more today, you meet women that will call you crazy if you think that it's not okay for her to be entertaining conversations with a bunch of dudes on there, or any dudes for that matter. You will be looked at as a crazy person. You will be looked at as controlling and insecure. We're at a point now where a lot of women are becoming very normalized with keeping their options open, and very normalized with, don't let any man stop you from pursuing this, that, or the other, financially, sexually, whatever. Like, this limitless, you're the boss, you're the queen, you're the prize. You can have your cake and eat it too. This mentality has just run amok. It has run amok. And when I see women messaging me, not messaging me, when I see women commenting on my old videos, saying stuff like, it's none of a man's business about my search history on my phone. It's none of a man's business who I want to talk to and entertain conversation with. That's them literally thinking it's okay to keep their options open. It's literally okay for them to lust after other guys in these movies and whatever pages. I don't want to be doom and gloom. I say this all the time. I hate being doom and gloom and there's no hope. But I'm really, really, sympathetic with the people that feel that way. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. It is bad out here. And I'll say again what I've said 1,000 times. Most men today, most men that will come after me for saying stuff like this and say, I'm in a healthy relationship. You're just this and you're not looking in the right places. Most of you that are married to church girls that go to church 5 times a week. She is to this day doing things that you do not know about that are not okay. Absolutely 100%. That's not BS. That's not all the time, most of the time. I would say at least 6 out of 10 times. At least 6 out of 10, just barely over half, most, by a small margin at least, are looking at things that you would not be okay with, that she's not going to tell you, and she's entertaining talking to people that you would not be okay with, that she's not going to tell you, that is going on. And you guys are just considering something healthy because you're probably oblivious to stuff going on. Or you're straight up overlooking massive red flags that, in your opinion aren't that bad, but most people like myself would not consider that healthy. So, are we all doomed out here? No, I'm not going to say that, but I will say most men will not ever get a good, healthy relationship unless they're willing to call it that by overlooking massive red flags, massive baggage, massive high mileage between their legs. You're just going to have to do that because we live in a society now, like I said before. These high school girls, bro, are being, exposed to crazy adult content at their fingertips constantly. The things I hear from young men at the gym that I meet and stuff, crazy, bro. Like I said in another video, there's a couple guys just told me the other day, so many girls at their school talk about sleeping with over 100 men already in high school. Like, if they've already been that promiscuous, can you imagine what they're looking at on their phones? Come on, bro. Can you imagine how far the baseline of excitement has gone for them? The weird shit they're probably looking at to even get any stimulation? Bad times, bro. Bad times. And as a man, I just want to remind you guys in this video, don't you ever let anybody tell you that you don't have a right and you shouldn't be concerned with a woman's social media, who she's following, what she's looking at, what she's liking, who she's talking to. That stuff matters a lot. And social media, as normal as it is in most of our lives, it's a huge, huge problem in this regard. Because again, what have I said? Humans are incentive-based. Humans do not do well with exciting stimulation that they have an endless supply of. And that's what they get, especially women on social media. They're not going to want to give that up. They're going to always want to look at things and talk to people. And it just is what it is. So my advice would be try to find a woman that does not have any social media. That would be the first step to like a decent green flag that you should look for. If you find a woman that has no social media, that would be great. And if she does have social media, if she's just not very active or not really following a bunch of stuff, maybe she's following some food stuff, cool recipes or art stuff, paintings or puppies or gardening or whatever, basic feminine things that they should be into instead of basketball and baseball and football and MMA and trashy music and pop culture with trashy women. No, dude. No. Do not entertain women like that. Please, for the love of God, do not. Because if that's where their interests lie, that's where their hearts lie, in a sense, at least to some degree. So anyways, let's wrap this up. Like the video if you did like the video, guys. I got a lot of haters that still dislike my videos, so the likes help me out a lot. It it counteracts the haters. Also, like I said in the beginning, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube tends to unsubscribe people. Let me know what you guys think down below, and until next time, guys, God bless.